Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimmirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Darati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapata Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Kopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupyevacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Srinvatam Svakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Ridyandastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nastaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirbhavati Naistiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Today we continue Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from Canto 3, Chapter 7, text number 18. Arthabhavam vinishchitya pratitasyapi natmana tam chapi yusmacharana sevayaham paranude. Artha abhavam, without substance. Vinishchitya, being ascertained. Pratitasya, of the apparent values. Api, also. Na, never. Atmana, of the self. Tam, that. Cha, also. Api, thus. Yushmat, your. Charana, feet. Sevaya, by service. Aham, myself. Paranude, shall be able to give up. Translation. But my dear sir, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance, although it appears to be real. I am confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. The sufferings of the conditioned soul are superficial and have no intrinsic value. Like the cutting of one's head in a dream. Yet, although this statement is theoretically very true, it is very difficult for the common man or the neophyte on the transcendental path to realize practically. However, by serving the feet of great transcendentalists like Maitreya Muni, and by constantly associating with them, one is enabled to give up the false idea that the soul suffers from material pangs. Text number 19. Yat sevaya bhagavata kutastasya madhutvisha ratiraso bhavettivra padayor vyasanardana. Yat which sevaya, by service, bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead, kutastasya, of the unchangeable, madhutvisha, the enemy of the madhu, asura, ratirasa, attachment in different relationships, bhavet, develops, tivra, highly ecstatic, padayo, on the feet, vyasana, distresses, ardana, vanquishing. Translation. By serving the feet of the spiritual master, one is enabled to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of the personality of Godhead, who is the unchangeable enemy of the Madhu demon, and whose service vanquishes one's material distresses. Purport. The association of a bona fide spiritual master like the sage Maitreya can be of absolute help in achieving transcendental attachment for the direct service of the Lord. The Lord is the enemy of the Madhu demon, or in other words, he is the enemy of the sufferings of his pure devotee. The word ratirasa is significant in this verse. Service to the Lord is rendered in different transcendental mellows, relationships: neutral, active, friendly, parental, and nuptial. What was this? Oh. A living entity in the liberated position of transcendental service to the Lord becomes attracted to the one of the above mentioned mellows, and when one is engaged in transcendental loving service to the Lord, one's service attachment in the material world is automatically vanquished, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2:59, Rasa vajjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Text 20. Durapa hyalpatapa Durapāhyalpatapasa seva vaikuntavartmasu yatra pagiyate nityam deva devo janardana. Durapa, rarely obtainable, he certainly, alpatapasa, of one whose austerity is meager, seva, service, Vaikunta, the transcendental kingdom of God, vartmasu, on the path of, yatra, wherein, upagiyate, is glorified, nityam, always, deva, Lord, devaha, of the demigods, janardana, the controller of the living entities. Translation. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. Really nice verse. Three 720. Let's see if this is somewhere. 3720. Oh, it is there. Haribo. Purport. The path of liberation, as recommended by all authorities, is to serve the Mahatma Transcendentalists. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the Mahatmas are the pure devotees who are on the path to Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God, and who always chant and hear the glories of the Lord rather than talk of dry, profitless philosophy. This system of association has been recommended since time immemorial, but in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, it is especially recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even one who has no assets of favorable austerity, if he nevertheless takes shelter of the Mahatmas, who are engaged in chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, is sure to make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Haribol, who wants to continue reading?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Okay. सृष्ट्वाग्रे महातादीनि सविकारण्य अनुक्रमात् तेभ्यो विरजम् उद्धृत्य तम् अनु pravished vibuhu. Srishtva, after creating, Agre, in the beginning, Mahad Adini, the total material energy, Sa Vikarani, along with the sense organs, Anukramat, by gradual process of differentiation, Tebayaha, out of that, Virajam, the gigantic universal form, Udratya, manifesting, Tam, into that, Anu, later on, Pravisat, entered, Vibhuhu, the Supreme. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After creating the total material energy, the Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. Purport. Fully satisfied by the answers of the sage Maitreya, Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portions of the creative functions of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topics. Text 22. Yamahur Adhyam Purusham Sahasrangri Uru Bahukam Yatra Vishwa Ime Lokaha Savikasam Samasate. Yam, who, Ahuhu, is called Adyam, original, Purusham, incarnation for cosmic manifestation, Sahasra, thousand, hungry, legs, Uru, thighs, Bahukam, hands, Yatra, wherein, Vishvaha, the universe, Ime, all these, Lokaha, planets, Savikasam, with respective developments, some, all of them, Asate, living. Translation. The Purusa incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purusha in the material creations, and in his Virata form, in whom all the planets and the inhabitants live, he has many thousands of legs and hands. Purport. The first Purusha is Karanodakshai Vishnu, the second Purusha is Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and the third Purusha is Kshirodakshai Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virata Purusha, the gigantic form in which all the planets with their different developments and inhabitants are floating. Text 23. Yasmin Dhasha Vida Pranaha Sendriyarthendriyastrivar त्वयेरितो यतो varnas tadvibhutir vadasvanaha yasmin, in which dasha vidaha, 10 kinds of pranaha, air of life, sa, with indriya, senses, artha, interest, indriyaha, of the senses, trivrit, 3 kinds of life, vaiga, tvaya, by your, Iritaha, explain, Yataha, wherefrom, Varnaha, 4 specific divisions, Tat, Vibhuti, prowess, Vadasva, please describe, Naha, unto me. Translation. O great Brahmana, You have told me the gigantic Virata form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kinds of life air exist with 3 kinds of life figure. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific divisions. Text 24. Yatra putraischa pautraischa naptribi saha gotrajaihi praja vichitra kritaya asanyabir idam thatam. Yatra, wherein putraihi along with sons, cha and pautraihi along with the grandsons, cha also naptribihi with grandsons from daughters, saha along with gotrajaihi of the same family, prajaha generations, vichitra of different kinds, kritayaha so done, asan exist, yabihi by whom, idam all these planets, tatam overcast. Translation: O my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the form of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. Text 25. Prajapatinam sapatis sakpe khan prajapatin sargams saivanu sargamscha manun manvantaradipan. Prajapatinam of the demigods like Brahma and others, Saha, he, Patihi, leader, Chakpe, decided, Khan, whomsoever, Prajapatin, father of the living entities, Sargan, generations, Cha, also, Eva, certainly, Anusargan, later generations, Cha, and Manun, the Manus, Manvantara, Adipan, and the changes of such. Translation: O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leaders of all the demigods, namely Prajapati, Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and please describe the descendants of those Manus. Purport: the human race or Manushya say descends from the Manus, sons and grandsons of Prajapati Brahma. The descendants of Manu reside in all the different planets and rule all the universe. Text 26. Uparya adascha ye lokha bhumer mitrat majhasate tesham samstham pramanam cha bhurlokasya cha varnaya. Upari on the head, adaha underneath, yecha also, lokaha planets, bhumehe of the earth, Mitra Atmaja, O son of Mitra, Maitreya Muni, Asate, do exist, Tesham, Teya, Samstham, situation, Pramanam, Cha, also their measurement, Puhu, Lokasya, of the earth planets, Cha, also, Varnaya, please describe. Translation: O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it, and also please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets. Purport: Yasmin Vijnate Sarvameva Vijnata Bhavanti. This Vedic hymn declares emphatically that the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. Devotees are not simply emotional, as is ill conceived by certain less intelligent men. Their direction is practical. They know everything that is and all the details of the Lord's domination over the different creation. Tiryan Manusha Devanam Sarisrapa Patatrinam Vadana Sarga Samvyuham Garbhasveda Vijobhidam. Thiryan, subhuman, Manusha, human beings, Devanam of the superhuman beings or demigods, Sarisva, reptiles, Patatrinam of the birds, Vada, kindly describe, Naha, unto me, Sarga, generation, Samvyuham, specific division, Garbha, embryonic, Sveda, perspiration, Tvija, twice born, Udbhidham, planets, etc. Translation. Also, please describe the living beings and the different classifications, subhumans, humans, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, birds, and the planets and vegetables. Kindly describe their generation and subdivisions also. Yes, Prabhalex, if anyone wants to read.
Ribol, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Can I
Prabhu.
continue
Dandavat
next?
Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Uh,
Prabhu, please.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Lebang Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Praveen Prabhu also. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanam Pranam, Jai Sri Prabhupada. Please
text
continue.
27. Siriyan Manusha Devanam Sarish Pap- Sarish Papatatrinam. I think this was over. Is it not? Yeah, text 28 from here we need to stop. Text 28. Gunavatarer Vishwasya Sargasthit Apyayashrayam Srajata Srinivasasya Vyachakshvodara Vikramam. Synonyms: Guna, modes of material nature; Avatari, of the incarnation; Vishwasya, of the universe; Sarga, creation; Sthiti, maintenance; Apyaya, destruction; Ashrayam, an ultimate rest; Srijata, of the one who creates; Srinivasasya, of the personality of Godhead; Vyachakshva, kindly describe; Udara, magnanimous; Vikramam, specific activities. Translation. Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. And please describe the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. Purpose by His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although the three incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar, are the principal deities for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the cosmic manifestation, they are not the final authority. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the ultimate goal, the cause of all causes. He is the ashray, all the final rest of everything. Text 29. वर्णाश्रम विभागांश्च रूपशील स्वभावत ऋषीणां जन्म कर्माणि वेदस्य च विकर्षणम्. Varna Ashrama, the four divisions of social statuses and orders of spiritual culture. Vibhagan, respective divisions. Cha, also. Rupa, personal features. Shila, Swabhavata, personal character. Rishinam, of the sages. Janma, birth. Karmadi, activities. Vedasya, of the Vedas. Cha, and Vikarshanam, categorical divisions. Translation. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Purport. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras, as well as Brahmachari, Grihasthas, Vanprastha, and Sannyasis, are all the divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and the senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Yeah, Chaturvarna Maya Shrestha Guna Karma Vibhagasha. It is based on Guna and Karma. It's in Bhagavad Gita
Prabhu.
as well. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in history as born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualification because he is seen here to be the disciple of great sage Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualifications, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras, and Dvijabandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent section of society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Text 30. Yajnascha vitanani yogasya chapatha prabho naishkarmasya cha sankhya tantram va bhagavat smritam. Yajnasya of sacrifices, cha also, vitanani expansions, yogasya of the mystic powers, cha also, patha ways, prabho, O my Lord, naishkarmasya of knowledge, cha and shankhasya of analytical studies, tantram the path of devotional service, va as well as bhagavat in relation with the personality of Godhead, smritam regulative principles. Translation. Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge, and devotional service, all with their respective regulations. Purport. The word tantram is significant herein. Sometimes tantram is misunderstood to be the black spiritual science of materialistic persons engaged in sense gratification. But here Tantram means the science of devotional service compiled by Srila Narada Muni. One can take advantage of such regulative explanations of the path of devotional service and make progressive advancement in the devotional service of the Lord. Sankhya philosophy is the basic principle of acquiring knowledge, as will be explained by the sage Maitreya. The Sankhya philosophy enunciated by Kapila Dev, the son of Devahuti, is the real source of knowledge about the supreme truth. Knowledge not based on the Sankhya philosophy is mental speculation and can yield no tangible profit. Haribol, if someone else wants to continue. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Who wants to continue?
I'll read, bro.
Yes, Prabhu.
Text 31. Can you go on mute? Thank you. Yeah, text 31. Pashandapatha Vaishamyam Pratiloma Niveshanam Jivasya Gatayo Yascha Yavatirguna Karmajaha. Synonyms. Pashandapatha, the path of the faithless. Vaishamyam, imperfection by contradiction. Pratiloma, cross-breeding. Niveshanam, situation. Jevasya, of the living entities. Gatayaha, movements. Yaha, as they are. Cha, also. Yavatihi, as many as. Guna, modes of material nature. Karmajaha, generated by different work. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Please also describe the imperfections and contradictions of the faithless, atheists, the situation of crossbreeding, and the movements of the living entities in various species of life according to their particular modes of nature and work. Purport. The combination of living entities in different modes of material nature is called crossbreeding. So the combination of living entities in different modes of material nature is called crossbreeding. Okay. The faithless atheists do not believe in the existence of God, and thus their paths of philosophy are contradictory. Atheistic philosophies never agree with one another. Different species of life are evidence of varieties of mixtures of the modes of material nature. Text 32. Dharmartha kama mokshanam निमित्तान्यि अविरोधतः वार्ताय दण्ड नीतेश्च श्रुतस्य च विधिं पृथक् synonyms dharma religiosity artha economic development kama sense gratification mokshanam salvation nimittani causes avirodhatah without being contradictory, vartayaha, on the principles of the means of livelihood, dandanitehe, of law and order, cha, also, sutasya, of the codes of scriptures, cha, also, vidhim, regulations, prathak, different. Translation: you may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Text 33. Sraddhasya cha vidhim brahman पितॄणां सर्गम एव च ग्रह नक्षत्र ताराणां कालावयव संस्थितिम् synonyms sraddhasya, of the periodical offerings of respects, cha, also vidhim, regulations, brahman, o brahmana, pitrinam, of the four fathers, sargam, creation, eva, as, cha, also graha, planetary system, nakshatra, the stars, taranam, luminaries, kala, time, avyayava, duration, samsthitam, situations. Translation: please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitriloka, the time schedule in the planets, stars, and luminaries, and their respective situations. Purport: the time durations of day and night are day and night as well as of months and years are different in the different planets, stars, and luminaries. The higher planets like the moon and Venus have different time measurements than the Earth. It is said that 6 months of this planet Earth is equal to 1 day of the higher planets. In the Bhagavad Gita, the duration of 1 day in Brahmaloka is measured to be 1000 times the 4 yugas, or 4.3 million multiplied by 1000. And the month and year in Brahmaloka are calculated in that measure. Text 34. Danasya tapaso vapi yacheshta purtayoh phalam pravasa sthasya yo dharma yascha pumsa uthapadi. Synonyms: dandasya, of danasya, of charity, tapasya, of penance, vapi, lake, yat, that which, cheshta, endeavor, portayoh, of reservoirs of water, phalam, a fruitive result, pravasa sthasya, one who is away from home, yaha, that which, dharmaha, duty, yaha, cha, and which, pumsaha, of man, uta, described, apadi, in danger. Translation: please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home, and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. Purport: the digging of reservoirs of water for public use is a great work of charity, and retiring from family life after 50 years of age is a great act of penance for performed by the sober human being. Text 35. Yenava bhagavams tusyed dharmayo Janardhanah samprasiditi samprasidati va yesham etad akhyahi menaga synonyms ena by which va either Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Tushyet, is satisfied, Dharma Yonihi, the father of all religion, Janardana, the controller of all living beings, Samprasidhati, completely satisfied, Va, either or, Esham, of those, Etat, all these, Akhyahi, kindly describe, me, unto me, Anagha, O sinless one. Translation: O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion, and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied. Purport: all religious activities are meant ultimately to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the father of all religious principles. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7:16, four kinds of pious men, the needy, the distressed, the enlightened, and the inquisitive, approach the Lord in devotional service, and their devotion is mixed with material affection. But above them are the pure devotees whose devotion is not tainted by any material tints of fruitive work or speculative knowledge. Those who are only miscreants throughout their lives are compared to demons. Bhagavad Gita 7:15. They are bereft of all knowledge in spite of any academic educational career they may pursue. Such miscreants are never candidates for satisfying the Lord. Text 33. अनुव्रतानां शिष्याणां पुत्राणां च द्विजोत्तमा आना अनापृष्टम् अपि भूयुर्गुरवो दीनवत्सलः synonyms anuvratanam, the followers, sishyanam, of the disciples, putranam, of the sons, cha, also dvija uttama, O best amongst the brahmanas, anaprishtam, that which is not asked for, api, in spite of, bruyuhu, please describe, guravaha, the spiritual masters, dina vatsalaha, who are kind to the needy. Translation: O best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons. And without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. Purport: there are many subjects to be known from the bona fide spiritual master. The followers, disciples, and sons are all on one level for the bona fide spiritual master, and he is always kind to them and always speaks to them on transcendental subjects, even though he is not asked by them. That is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidura appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked. Text 37. Tattvanam bhagavam stesham katidha pratisamkramaha tatremam ka upasiran kau svidanu serate. Come down, bro. Synonyms: Tattvanam, of the elements of nature, Bhagavan, O great sage, Tesham, of them, Katidha, how many, Prati Sankramaha, resolutions. Tatra thereupon imam unto the Supreme Lord K. Who are they? Upasiran, being saved. K. Who are they? Who? Swith, may. Anusherate, serve the Lord while he sleeps. Translation. Please describe how many resolutions there are for the elements of material nature and who survives after the resolutions to serve the Lord while he is asleep. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that all the material manifestations with innumerable universes appear and disappear with the breathing of the Lord. With the breathing of the Mahavishnu lying in Yoga Nidra or mystic sleep. Yeah. Karananava Jale Bhajati Sam Yoga Nidram Ananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha Adhara Shaktim Avalambya Param Swamurtim Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasyaika Nishvashika Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Nataha Vishnur Mahan Sa Iha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda, the ultimate and supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, lies sleeping unlimitedly on the causal ocean in order to create unlimited numbers of universes during that phase. He lies on the water by his own internal potency, and I worship that original supreme Godhead. Due to his breathing, innumerable universes come into existence, and when he withdraws his breath, there occurs the dissolution of all the lords of the universes. That plenary portion of the Supreme Lord is called Mahavishnu, and he is a part of Lord Krishna. I worship Govinda, the original Lord. Brahma Samhita 5:47 and 48. After the dissolution of the material manifestations, the Lord and his kingdom beyond the causal ocean do not disappear, nor do the inhabitants, the Lord's associates. The associates of the Lord are far more numerous than the living entities who have forgotten the Lord due to material association. The impersonalist explanation of the word aham in the 4 verses of the original Bhagavatam, aham, evasam, evagre, etc., is refuted here. The Lord and his eternal associates remain after the dissolution. Vidra's inquiry about such persons is a clear indication of the existence of all the paraphernalia of the Lord. This is also confirmed in the Kashi Kanda, as quoted by both Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, who follow in the footsteps of Srila Sridhara Swami. Na chavante cha yad bhakta mahatyam प्रलयापदीति अतो अच्युते अखिले लोके स एकः सर्ववगो अव्ययम्. The devotees of the Lord never annihilate their individual existences even after the dissolution of the entire cosmic manifestation. The Lord and the devotees who associate with him are always eternal, both in the material and spiritual worlds. Text 38. पुरुषस्य च संस्थानं स्वरूपं वा परस्य च ज्ञानं च नैगमं यत्तद् गुरुशिष्य प्रयोजनं synonyms. Purushasya, of the living entity, cha, also, samsthanam, existence, swarupam, identity, va, either, or, parasya, of the supreme, cha, also, jnanam, knowledge, cha, also, naigamam, in the matter of the Upanishads, yet, that, tat, the same, guru, spiritual master, shishya, disciple, prayojanam, necessity. Translation. What are the truths regarding the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What are their identities? What are the specific values in the knowledge in the Vedas? And what are the necessities for the spiritual master and his disciples? Purport. The living entities are constitutionally servitors of the Lord who can accept all kinds of services from everyone. It is clearly declared in Bhagavad Gita 5:29 that the Lord is the supreme enjoyer of the benefits of all sacrifices and the penances, the proprietor of all that is manifested and the friend of all living entities. That is his real identity. Therefore, when the living entity accepts this supreme proprietorship of the Lord and acts in that attitude, that is his real identity. In order to elevate the living entity to this standard of knowledge, there is the necessity of spiritual association. The bona fide spiritual master desires that his disciples know the process of rendering transcendental service to the Lord, and the disciples also know that they have to learn about the eternal relationship between God and the living entity from a self realized soul. To disseminate transcendental knowledge, one must retire from mundane activities on the strength of enlightenment in knowledge in terms of Vedic wisdom. That is the sum and substance of all the questions in this verse. Text 39. Nimittani cha tasyeha प्रोक्तान्यनघ सूरिभिः स्वतो ज्ञानं कुतः पुंसां भक्तिर्वैराग्यमेव वा. Synonyms. Nimittani, the source of knowledge, cha also tasya of such knowledge, iha in this world, proktani mentioned, anagha spotless, suribhi by devotees, swataha self-sufficient, jnanam knowledge, kutaha how, pumsam of the living entity, bhaktihi devotional service, vairagyam detachment, eva certainly, cha also. Translation. Spotless devotees of the Lord have mentioned the source of such knowledge. How could one have knowledge of devotional service and detachment without the help of such devotees? Purport. There are many inexperienced persons who advocate self-realization without the help of a spiritual master. They decry the necessity of the spiritual master and try themselves to take his place by propagating the theory that a spiritual master is not necessary. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, however, does not approve this viewpoint. Even the great transcendental scholar Vyasadeva had need of a spiritual master, and under the instruction of Narada Muni, maybe. Come down, bro. Under the instruction of his spiritual master Narada, he prepared this sublime literature, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Even Lord Chaitanya, although he is Krishna himself, accepted a spiritual master. Even Lord Krishna accepted a spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, in order to be enlightened, and all the acharyas and saints of the world had spiritual masters. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master, although there was no necessity of such a formal declaration. So, in all cases, there is no question about the necessity of accepting a spiritual master. The only stipulation is that the spiritual master should be bona fide. That is, the spiritual master must be in the proper chain of disciplic succession called the parampara system. Surivihi are great scholars, but they may not always be anagha or spotless. The anagha suri is one who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Those who are not pure devotees of the Lord or who want to be on an equal level with him are not anagha suri. Pure devotees have prepared many books of knowledge on the basis of authorized scriptures. Srila Rupa Goswami and his assistants, under the instructions of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, have all written various literatures for the guidance of prospective devotees, and anyone who is very serious about raising himself to the standard of a pure devotee of the Lord must take advantage of those literatures. Text 40. एतान् मे पृच्छतः प्रश्नान् हरेः कर्म विवित्सया भूहि मे ज्ञास्य मित्रात्वात् अजया नष्ट चक्षुषः. Synonyms etan, all these mine pruchatah, of one who inquires, prashnan, questions, hareh, of the Supreme Lord, karma, pastimes, vivitsya, desiring to know, bruhi, kindly describe, me, unto me, agnyasya, of one who is ignorant, mitratvat, because of friendship, ajaya, by the external energy, nashta chakshusaha, those who have lost their vision. Translation: My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with a view to know the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the friend of all, so kindly describe them for all those who have lost their vision. Purport: Vidura put forward many varieties of questions with a view to understand the principles of transcendental loving service to the Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2:41, devotional service to the Lord is one, and the mind of the devotee is not diverted to the many branches of uncertainties. Vidura's purpose was to be situated in that service to the Lord, wherein one merges undivertedly. He claimed the friendship of Maitreya Muni not because he was Maitreya's son, but because Maitreya was actually the friend of all who have lost their spiritual vision to material influence. One second, Prabhu. Who is Maitreya's son? Come down, bro. Vidura's purpose was to be situated in the service of the Lord, wherein one merges undivertedly. Okay, he claimed the friendship of Maitreya Muni not because he was Maitreya's son, but because Maitreya was actually the friend of all who have lost. Who was Maitreya's son here?
I'm not sure, Prabhu, who's his son.
Maitreya. No, I don't. Vidura is not the son of Maitreya.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, Vidura is not the son of Maitreya. Definitely.
Yes, Prabhu. He's his friend, he said here. Friendship, not son.
Vidura's father is Vyadavesa.
Vyadavesa.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Let's continue. Text 41. There is a bit of echo, Prabhu, from your side. Yeah. Text 41. Sarve vedascha yajnascha tapodhanani chanagha jivabhaya pradhanasya na kurviram kalam api. Synonyms: survey all kinds of Veda, divisions of the Vedas, cha also yajna, sacrifices, cha also tapaha, penances, dhanani, charities, cha and anagha, O spotless one, jiva, the living entity, abhaya, immunity from material pangs, pradhanasya, of one who gives such assurance, not Kurviran, can be equalized kalam even partially api certainly. Translation: O spotless one, your answers to all these questions will grant immunity to all material miseries. Such charity is greater than all Vedic charities, sacrifices, finances, etc. Purport: the highest perfectional work of charity is to give people in general immunity from the anxieties of material existence. This can be done only by performing activities in devotional service to the Lord. Such knowledge is incomparable. Cultivation of the knowledge in the Vedas, performance of sacrifice and distribution of munificent charities all together cannot form even a part of the immunity from the pangs of material existence that is gained from devotional service. The charity of Maitreya will not only help Vidra, but due to its universal nature will deliver all others in all times. Thus, Maitreya is immortal. Sri text 42. Sri Sukhovacha Sayitham Aprishta Purana Kalpaha Kuru Pradhanena Muni Pradhanaha Pravruddha Harsho Bhagavat Kathayam Sanchoditas Tam Prahasan Ivaha Names. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, Saha he itham. Thus, Aprishta, being questioned. Purana Kalpaha, one who knows how to explain the supplements of the Vedas, the Puranas, Kuru Pradhanena, by the chief of the Kurus, Muni Pradhanaha, the chief amongst the sages, Pravruddha, sufficiently enriched. Harshaha, satisfaction. Bhagavat, the personality of Godhead. Kathayam, in the topics of Sanchoditaha, being so infused. Tam, unto Vidra. Prahasan, with smiles. Iva, like that. Aha, replied. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, thus, the chief of the sages, who was always enthusiastic about describing topics regarding the personality of Godhead, began to narrate the descriptive explanation of the Puranas, being so infused by Vidra. He was very much enlivened by speaking on the transcendental activities of the Lord. Purport. Great learned sages like Maitreya Muni was always very enthusiastic about describing the transcendental activities of the Lord. Maitreya Muni, being thus invited by Vidra to speak, appeared to be smiling because he actually felt transcendental bliss. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 7th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Further Inquiries by Vidra.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, now we go to 6 Astakam prayers. Oh, Lebang Prabhu will read 2 slokas. Haribol.
Oh, are you going to start with the next chapter?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Tandar Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada. Maitreya Uvacha. What? Is it my mic?
Oh, for some reason my... Wait. Yes, Prabhu, it's on and I cannot do anything to change it. See. Oh, it's...
Yes,
I cannot even
yes,
show it. 1 second. Okay, I'll just mute myself.
Can I read? Should I read?
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Please, Prabhu, please go up. Oh, manifestations of Brahma from Garbhadakshai Vishnu. Maitreya Uvacha Sat Seva Niyo Bata Puru Vamsho Yalo Loka Palo Bhagavat Pradanaha Babahu Vi Tahe Hajita Kriti Malam Pade Pade Nutana Yasi Abhi Kshanam. Okay, synonyms. Shri Maitreya Uvacha, Shri Maitreya Muni said, Sat Seva Niyaha, worth to serve the pure devotees. Bata, oh, certainly. Puru Vamsha, the descendants of King Puru, yat in which Loka Palaha, the kings are Bhagavat Pradhanaha, chiefly devoted to the personality of Godhead. Babahu Vitaha, you are also born, Iha, in this, Ajita, the Lord, who is unconquerable. Kiriti Malam, chain of transcendental activities. Pade Pade, step by step. Nutana Yasi, becoming newer and newer. Abhihikshanam, always. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay. Sami Prabhu. The great sage Maitreya Muni said to Vidura, the royal dynasty of King Puru is worth to serve the Puru, the pure devotees, because all the descendants of that family are devoted to the personality of Godhead. You are also born in that family, and it is wonderful that because of your attempt, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are becoming newer and newer at every moment. Purport. The great sage Maitreya thanked Vidura and praised him by reference to his family glories. The Puru dynasty is full of devotees of the personality of Godhead and is therefore glorious because they are not attached to impersonal Brahman or to the localized Paramatma but are directly attached to Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. They are therefore worthy to render service to the Lord and his pure devotees. Because Vidura was one of the descendants of that family. Naturally, he engaged in spreading wide the ever new glories of the Lord. Maitreya felt happy to have such glorious company as Vidura. He considered the company of Vidura to be most desirable because such association can accelerate one's dominant propensities for devotional service. Okay,
One more.
text 2. Text 2. Soham nirnam kshula sukayaha dukam mahadgatanam viramaya tasya pravartyaye bhagavatam puranam yad aha sakshad bhagavan rishi baya. Please, Mod Prabhu. Synonyms. Saha, that, aham, I, nirnam, of the human being, kshula, very little, sukhaya, for happiness, dukam, distress, mahat, great, gatanam, entered into, viramaya, for mitigation, tasya, his, pravartaye, shall begin, Bhagavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Puranam, Vedic supplement, yat, which, aha, said, sakshat, directly, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Rishi Baya, unto the sages. Translation. Let me now begin speaking on the Bhagavad Purana, which was directly spoken to the great sage by the personality of Godhead for the benefit of those who are entangled in extreme miseries for the sake of very little pleasure. Can I reread, Prabhu? Can I reread that translation?
Yes, sir.
Let me now Let me now begin speaking on the Bhagavad Purana, which was directly spoken to the great sages by the personality of Godhead for the benefit of those who are entangled in extreme misery for the sake of very little pleasure. Yes, bro, we can go to the purport. Purport. The sage Maitreya proposed to speak on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam because it is especially compiled and traditionally comes down in the disciplinic succession. For the solution of all the problems of human society, only one who is fortunate can have the opportunity to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the association of pure devotees of the Lord. Under the spell of material energy, the living entities are entrapped in the bondage of many difficulties simply for the sake of a little bit of material happiness. They engage in fruitive activities, not knowing the implications under the false impression that the body is the self. The living entities foolishly relate to so many false attachments. They think that they can engage with materialistic paraphernalia forever. This gross misconception of life is so strong that a person suffers continually, life after life, under the external energy of the Lord. If one comes in contact with the book Bhagavata as well as with the devotee Bhagavata who knows what the Bhagavatam is, then such a fortunate man gets out of the material entanglement. Therefore, Sri Maitreya Muni, out of compassion for the suffering men in the world, proposes to speak on the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam first and last.
Ribol, should we read more?
I can read the last one if the purport is not too long.
Yes, Prabhu.
Asinam urvayam Bhagavatam adyam sankarshanam devam akuntaha sattvam vivitavas tadvam ataha parasya kumara mukkaya munayo nirvaprachan. Synonyms: Asinam, seated; Urvayam, down the universe; Bhagavatam, is it Bhagavantam, unto the Lord; Adyam, the original Sankarshan; Devam, personality of Godhead; Akuntaha Sattvam, and undeterred. Is it undeterred? How do you undeterred? Is it undeterred, Prabhu? Can you please help me
Yes,
with that?
Prabhu. Where it is?
Okay.
Hello, still.
And there, Prabhu, and to next to Sattvam, there is. And the third, is it under third?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. And the third knowledge, Viva Tava, being inquisitive to know, Tatvam, Ataha, truth like this, Parasya, regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kumara, the boy saint, Mukayaha, the chief, Munayaha, great sages, and Anvaprachan inquired like this. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Some time ago, being inquisitive to know Sanat Kumar, the chief of the boy saints, accompanied by other great sages, inquired exactly like you about the truths regarding Vasudeva, the Supreme, from Lord Sankarshan, who is seated at the bottom of the universe. Purport. You can go to the purport, Prabhu. This is okay, purport. This is in clarification of the statement that the Lord spoke directly on the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam when and to whom the Bhagavatam was spoken is explained here within. Questions similar to those those put forward by Vidura were asked by great sages like Sanat Kumar and Lord Sankarshan. The plenary expansion of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva answered them. Sami Prabhu, can I ask you,
Yes, Prabhu.
are there tales about Pradyumna in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Are there any time stories? The child of Lord Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, I think so.
Okay, Prabhu.
But not sure where. Who knows?
Okay, yes, Prabhu.
Praveen Prabhu, are you here?
Yes, Prabhu, I am here. Yes, yes, there is a description of the narration of Pradyumna in Bhagavatam, but not in detail. Okay, his Krishna's sons and grandsons are described very little in Bhagavatam. Okay,
Yes,
most
Prabhu.
of the Bhagavatam is all about only Lord Krishna. Okay, but
Okay, yes, Prabhu.
there is a little bit of description here and there in the 10th canto. Let me see quickly.
Yes, Prabhu. Also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is something.
Yes, because Pradyumna is the incarnation of Cupid. Okay, Kamadeva.
Is it? Yeah, Kamadev. Okay, yes. And then when he came back as Pradyumna, did he meet her, actually her past wife? Because I forgot the wife of Lord Kamadev.
It's a good question, but I need to check. See, ultimately, see when we change the body, okay,
Yes,
until we leave that body and we go back to the previous body, we will not meet the persons in the previous life. Okay, but he in this
yes, yes.
case, Pradyumna, uh, yes, he is the son of Krishna and Rukmini, but I don't think his previous wife was met when he was in the body of Pradyumna.
Oh, yes.
But I need to check it out. Okay.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Oh, but then there's something in the 10.55 history of Pradyumna.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yes.
1055. Right. 1055 exactly. See the glimpses of this chapter is about Pradyumna. Okay. I'll just quickly read out. When Pradyumna was only a few days old, the demon Sambara, out of enmity, kidnapped him and threw him into the ocean. Okay. Sambara kidnapped Pradyumna and threw him into the ocean. A fish swallowed him. Later, when fishermen caught that fish, that cooks opened it and discovered the infant inside. He was given to a maid servant, Mayavati, who was actually Kamadev's wife, Rati. Okay.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I was talking. Yeah, actually, I forgot the name. It's Rati.
No, Rati,
Because I
yes.
think
Hmm.
I saw a story that Lord Shiva, I think they had to make, Lord Shiva had to make a son so that he can kill a demon.
Exactly. So, in fact, see, Lord Shiva, with his third eye, burned Kamadeva. Okay, when Kamadeva was trying to wake him up by throwing the arrows with full of lust on Lord Shiva.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so Lord Shiva, because
God.
he's he's a he's a living entity. Okay, the highest living entity who is out of lust, who does not have any lust at all. So he
Oh, yes,
burnt
yes.
Kamadeva, but after Parvati and Rati prayed Lord Shiva to, because see, he gave him a, after Parvati and Rati prayed Lord Shiva, because Rati was unable to live without her husband. So Lord Shiva gave her a benediction that his husband would appear only to her, but in his invisible form. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
So then again Rati prayed Lord Shiva, because again, how long she could continue looking at her husband without a body. Then Lord Shiva gave her a benediction, gave him, in fact, the Kamadeva benediction, that he would take birth as
Lord Krishna's
Lord
son.
Krishna in his next life and get a body finally.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I get it, Prabhu. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
It
you
is
can
actually
go
the
through
same
this
as
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 55th, 10th canto, 55th chapter. Okay, this particular chapter describes more about Pradyumna.
yes, yes, Prabhu. I will definitely do so, Prabhu.
I'm not sure whether it covers Aniruddha's pastimes as well. Aniruddha, the grandson of Krishna.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Okay, let's move on to Sri Sikshashtakam. चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयस्कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं सुपूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्.
नाम्नामकारिबहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तद्रार्पितान्यमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशे तव कृपान् भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैव मे त्रिशम्याजिनानुराग्रह
ऋणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामे मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवदाद्भक्तिरहेतुगीत्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मम विषमे भवं बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूले सत्कृशं विचिन्तय
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गद हृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति.
युगायुधं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रपश्यायुधां शून्यायुधां जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
अशिश्ल्यवा परतठं पिनस्तु मम दर्शनं मर्मं हठं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदतुलं पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नार्पणः
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribo, Shri Siksastakam ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Jai,
ki.
Jai.
Bahujanma Kareya Deshamana Kirtan Tabutanapaya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who had dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
The second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to
Third
disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in precedence of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the specious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for their fallen souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaya parityanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnavita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai,
jai. Jai
Jai,
Namaste. Haribo.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for